Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janaba Abba Girdhari. Gopi Janabaraba Girdhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Girdhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Balaba Girdhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol. Jaya Panchatattva, 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 Jaya Panchatattva. Gaur Premanandi. Jai Vishwabhavam Sabharajikachar. Stotar Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnu Bhavam Sabharajikachar. Stotar Satashi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Gaura Premanandi. Take this jumper off. Spaced. So tonight we're going to speak about your greatest fortune. Everyone would like to feel that they have some prospect for good fortune in their life. So now By the grace of Lord Chaitanya's teachings to Rupa Goswami for 10 days at the Shashvamedha Ghat, we'll hear what actually is fortune. And we want to bear in mind that we are wanderers, we are sojourners, always on the move, moving through different bodies, through different species of life, moving from one locale in the material world to another locale. We're always on the move. But somehow or other, we have a sense of permanence in a most impermanent body and most impermanent setting. This is the grace of Maya. That you don't feel the constant movement you're undergoing. You don't even feel the earth spinning. Yet we think we are so knowledgeable. So Lord Chaitanya will describe to Rupa Goswami how amidst all our wanderings over countless lifetimes and so many species of life and on so many planets, so many realms, we may come across good fortune. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 19, text 151. Brahmanda Brahmite Kom Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Pasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Brahmanda Brahmite Kom Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Vaishnavis. Brahmanda Brahmite, wandering in this universe. Kon Sam, Bhagyavan, most fortunate, Jeev, living being, Guru of the spiritual master, Krishna of Krishna, Prasade, by the mercy, Pai gets, Bhakti Lata, of the creeper of devotional service, Bij, the seed. Translation. According to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary systems, and some are going down into the lower planetary systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. Purport. When we speak of Brahmanda, we refer to the whole universe or to the cluster of many millions of universes. In all the universes, there are innumerable planets, and there are innumerable living entities upon those planets, in the air, on land, and in the water. There are millions and trillions of living entities everywhere, and they are engaged by Maya in suffering and enjoying the results of their fruitive activity. Life after life. This is the position of the materially conditioned living entities. Out of many of these living entities, one who is actually fortunate, Bhagyavan, comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master by Krishna's mercy. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, and if one desires something, Krishna fulfills one's desire. If the living entity, by chance or fortune, comes in contact with the Krishna conscious movement and wishes to associate with that movement, Krishna, who is situated in everyone's heart, gives him the chance to meet a bona fide spiritual master. This is called Guru Krishna Prasad. Krishna is prepared to bestow his mercy upon all living entities. And as soon as a living entity desires the Lord's mercy, the Lord immediately gives him an opportunity to meet a bona fide spiritual master. Such a fortunate person is fortified by both Krishna and the spiritual master. He is helped from within by Krishna and from without by the spiritual master. Both are prepared to help the sincere living being become free from material bondage. How can one become this fortunate? Can be seen in the life of Srila Narada Muni. In his previous life, he was born of a maidservant. Although he was not born into a prestigious position, his mother was fortunately engaged in rendering service to some Vaishnavas. When these Vaishnavas were resting during the Chaturmasya period, the boy Narada took the opportunity to engage in their service. Taking compassion upon the boy, the Vaishnavas offered him the remnants of their food. By serving these Vaishnavas and obeying their orders, the boy became the object of their sympathy, and by the Vaishnavas' unknown mercy, he gradually became a pure devotee. In the next life, he was Narada Muni, the most exalted of Vaishnavas and the most important guru and acharya of Vaishnavas. Following in the footsteps of Narada Muni, this Krishna conscious movement is rendering service to humanity by giving everyone a chance to come in contact with Krishna. If one is fortunate, he becomes intimately related with this movement. Then, by the grace of Krishna, one's life becomes successful. Everyone has dormant Krishna Bhakti, love for Krishna. And in the association of good devotees, that love is revealed. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabhu Noy, Shavanade Shuddha Chitte Koreye Udoy. Dormant devotional service to Krishna is within everyone. Simply by one's associating with devotees, hearing their good instructions, and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, dormant love for Krishna is awakened. In this way, one acquires the seed of devotional service. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Translation again. According to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary systems, and some are going down into the lower planetary systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. Om Agana Chimarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. According to our karma, we think that we are engineering our own life, and in a very limited sense, that is true. But we're acting within the shackles of so much past conditioning, so much past karma. So as I often point out, into the present moment, we're dragging so much of the past, and you can't stop it materially. And then into the future, we're carrying so much from the past and the present. So in this way, time has imprisoned us. And that prison experience happens according to your karma. So it looks like we're doing everything in this life that we can in order to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. Material social scientists argue amongst themselves. Is happiness a destination, or is happiness a direction that you're supposed to move in? In either case, they've missed the point. The illusory energy is engaging us in suffering sometimes and enjoying sometimes, according to the results of our karma. So we think that we're the initiators of so many activities. I shall do this to be happy. I shall go in this direction to be happy, or I shall achieve this destination and I'll be happy. We overlook completely the fact that we are being engaged. We think we are the engagers. I choose to do this, I choose to do that. But actually, just like a bull with a ring in the nose, we're being dragged along according to our karma. And as we're being dragged along, our karma is delivering to us different experiences of happiness and distress. Now, what people call happiness in material existence is actually mixed happiness. You can't get pure happiness in the material world. All you get is distress or material suffering and mixed happiness. How can you tell the so-called happiness is mixed? It's because, first of all, you have to work or struggle to get it. And as we've pointed out many times, work in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, doesn't simply mean your salaried job or your business. Work means what you do with your senses and your mind to get something. So you think that you are the engager. For my pleasure, I'm engaging this. For my pleasure, I'm engaging that person, this situation, that object. But actually, it's the illusory energy that has you on a conveyor belt. And on that conveyor belt, you go through, according to your karma, different experiences of happiness and mixed happiness and distress. You don't get pure happiness. That's not possible. So we explained to you the first reason why it's mixed happiness, what you're getting at best. It's because you've got to struggle for it. You've got to work for it. The second reason is that there's always anxiety mixed with so-called happiness. In the back of your mind, so to speak, you know it's going to end. The question is, how will it end? Will it end quickly, or will it end after a longer period of time? But it will end. So that anxiety, whether you recognize it or not, is always mixed in with your so-called happiness. Even if you don't address that anxiety, it's there in the background due to countless lifetimes of experience. So that foreboding feeling that this is too good to be true, when is this going to be over? That's in the back of your consciousness. Call it your subconsciousness, due to experiences over many lifetimes. So what people put a premium on, what conditioned souls put a premium on, is the ability to forget your anxiety. That's a good experience. Oh, I forgot all about my problems. Yes, last night was fantastic. Oh, when I'm with you, I forget all my anxieties. Until you recognize that that very person becomes the major source of your anxiety. But if you can just forget for a few moments, oh, happy day. Somehow to do something to forget that your happiness is polluted, corrupted. Dive deep into body gratification, and then for a few moments you can forget all about your good intelligence. Become a workaholic. Become mad after money. And in this way, you can take your mind off the 8 ball, so to speak. You take your mind away from focusing on the realities of material existence. So if you can understand that the best you're going to get is mixed happiness, as well as pure distress, then you start to understand how the illusory energy is engaging you, rather than you being the engager, the initiator. The material energy is responding to you based on your choices, your activities from countless lifetimes in the past. So you're being, as I said, on a conveyor belt, being dragged through so many experiences brought about by your karma. And yet we think we are free. I shall choose this enjoying experience and not that. I will be with this person and not that one. The whole point is, I want to be happy, but you can't get undiluted happiness in material existence. But then you'll say, all right, you can't get undiluted happiness. It's all mixed, but I'll settle for that. And we think this is great. I'll settle for mixed happiness. It's better than nothing. I like the example Srila Prabhupada gives of, you can try it on someone. You want to be happy? I've got some sweet rice for you. A nice cup of sweet rice. Do we serve sweet rice sometimes? Yeah. If you really want sweet rice to be super, it should be very cold, but that takes a big endeavor. And it should be prepared very slowly, cooked very slowly. In the old days, the whole consciousness of the temple was centered on how the sweet rice would turn out on Sunday. The cooks would cook it slowly over a fire. Slowly, slowly. The slower you cook it, the more luxurious it becomes. And then you chill it. Then when you serve it on Sunday at the feast, practically the guests don't get any of the devotees, just drink it all up. And of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about sweet rice mixed with what? With ghee. You can try that one. But in this example, Srila Prabhupada gave us, was if someone offers you a cup of sweet rice and it looks so attractive, and you start drinking, and at first you taste the delight, and then crunch, crunch, crunch. What is this? There's sand mixed in with the sweet rice. But you can't give up the taste of the sweet rice, so you say, well, I'll just endure the sand. But finally you just get disgusted and say, I can't take it anymore. There's this sweet rice, was very good, but it's got sand mixed in it. That is the nature of material happiness. It's mixed. So remember, number one, you've got to struggle for it. And number two, when you get it, it's mixed with anxiety. Along with being mixed with struggle, it's mixed with anxiety because you know it won't last. If you can just forget for a while that it's not going to last, you call that happiness. And then, of course, you're always calculating. Once your intelligence a little bit reemerges, okay, what's the exit strategy? How's this going to end, and how can I end it all in the best possible way for me? So this is what people call happiness. It's based on the temporary body. It's based on the temporary mind. And the body and mind are always undergoing different karmic experiences, whether you want it or not. So this is the scientific understanding of what's happening with our conditioned life. We're being engaged by Maya in suffering and enjoying the results of our karmic activity life after life. So now that you have focused upon the wanderingness, always on the move, traveling person. So I'm not the only one in the room who does traveling. You are also traveling. My kind of traveling is, yes, very taxing, but just think about the traveling of the conditioned soul through so many circumstances, so many stations of material existence. It's very tiring. And sometimes a fortunate soul gets tired of it all and longs for something else. And when you start longing for something else, Krishna is in your heart noticing. As you read in Bhagavad Gita, desire is very subtle, like the fragrance of a flower. So Krishna in your heart, as the Paramatma, senses your desire. Oh, you're getting weary of all this. Traveling, constantly being on the move through different phases of material existence. If amidst your constant wanderings, you start to develop some fatigue and a desire to know, is there anything else? Is this all that there is? If you're fortunate, Krishna says you come across his representative. That is true great fortune in your life. Unsurpassable great fortune. Bhagyavan, one who possesses bhagya, fortune, the great fortune. Sometimes I quickly check the New Zealand news every few times a week, just burn through it. And they always have these reports to encourage the people in gambling. They always have reports of who won the Powerball and how many millions of dollars they won. And I focus on the reactions of the people. I watched on the TV 1 number, 2 numbers, 3 numbers, 4 numbers, all 5 numbers. Oh, they start crying. Oh, we've made it. We've made it. Oh. Many times they say, but I'll still keep working. I don't know what else to do with themselves. And of course, the media plays it all up. Everyone can win. Go on gambling. And so we think that's real fortune? No. Lord Chaitanya is describing the greatest fortune to Rupa Goswami. If you can encounter a genuine representative of Krishna, there's no greater fortune than that. So this verse is giving you a cosmological overview. You've been wandering not only on Earth, but you've been wandering in upper planetary systems, lower planetary systems, all on your quest to be the enjoyer, to be the controller. In this way, we forgot all about what is real love. We're so deluded that we respond to bhakti as if, okay, it's great, we're not the body, we're spirit, soul, but where's the love? Everyone wants to feel love, to be loved, to love. But as we heard in the purport, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Saju Kabunoy Shavanade Shuddha Chitte Koreye Udoy. Pure love of Krishna is buried within you, so to speak. It's dormant in you. It's there, but it's covered over by our conditioning. It can't be taken away from you, but it's like the sun is always in the sky, but massive cloud cover prevents you from detecting it. So how does the pure love for Krishna become revived? By the process of Shravanade Shuddha Chitte Koreye Udoy, by the process of hearing and chanting, talking about Krishna, speaking about Krishna, chanting, kirtan, all that revives the dormant love for Krishna. So this is the real occupation in life. This is the real profession. So you judge your success in this lifetime by how immersed in devotional service you are. Otherwise, what is your wealth? What is your success? What is your prosperity? It's all distress and at best mixed happiness. So we heard in the purport about Narada Muni. how he became so fortunate just by associating with the Bhagavatas, by serving them, by obeying their orders. The boy became the object of their sympathy. And by the Vaishnav's unknown mercy, he gradually became a pure devotee. In his next life, he was Narada Muni. So in the first canto of Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, Narada Muni gives some advice about, again, the wandering living entity. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovida. Someone who's actually intelligent, a kavi, doesn't endeavor for anything that's available in the highest planetary systems or the lowest planetary systems. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovida. Nalabhyate brahmatam udaryada. Tal labhyate dukkhavat anyata sukham. Such a person knows that whatever happiness you get in your life, and we already talked about how it's mixed happiness, will come to you even if you don't endeavor for it. Just like you don't endeavor for your distress, and it still comes. Kalena sarvacha gambira ramhasa. By the strength of time, Galena. Time is, as we pointed out many times, the courier service, delivering your packets, your packages of distress and mixed happiness. You don't have to do anything else. It'll come. But of course, people are so passionate. They can't just sit and do nothing. They've got to try and endeavor, even though they're not going to get more than what their karma allots. So Narada Muni advises, tasyaiva heto prayateta kovida. If you're actually smart, you won't play the game because the game is rigged. You'll just waste countless lifetimes of energy pursuing what you're going to get anyway by the force of time. So what should you do then? You endeavor for bhakti. That's outside of the grip of karma. It's outside the grip of time. So Krishna in your heart, as the Paramatma, knows what you want. We can't even participate in material existence without the help of Krishna. Just like a director teaches an actor, a theater director teaches an actor how to really be in a certain role and play that part. The best actors become that person that they're portraying. I don't think we have any actors here, do we? Any professional actors? No. They really get into it, so much so they forget themselves and become that person that they're portraying. So this is what happens to us in material existence. By the help of Krishna, because we become distracted from our original nature as part and parcel of Krishna, we become distracted from being cooperative, and material existence becomes our home. Krishna in the heart has helped you. Are you sure you want to be distracted like this? All right, here's the material world, and get into it. It's Krishna who infuses your heart, so to speak, with the ability to be completely forgetful, because that's what you wanted. You can't do it without Krishna's help. You're distracted by material existence. All right, get into it. You'll see. I'm warning you. And so you get fully absorbed in material existence, forgetting about your real identity. That happens with the help of Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. By Krishna's arrangement, one potency can overcome another potency. So by your desire to experience something independent from Krishna, Krishna arranges, okay, you fall under the control of the illusory energy. And then our traveling through countless universes, bodies, species takes place. And you can't trace out when this began. The beginning is beyond time and space. So this verse spoken by Lord Chaitanya to Rupa Goswami gives you a way to measure the success of your life. Rather than just searching your whole life for some happy moments that have long passed, or hoping in your life that there'll be happy moments in the future. What is real bhagya? What is real great fortune? Krishna allows you to meet his representative. And what does Krishna's representative give? Bhakti lata bij, the seed of the creeper of devotion. We'll talk more about this tomorrow when we go over the next verse. What actually is it that the guru gives? Is he a pen pal? Is he a conversation mate? Is he on Facebook or Instagram? What does he do? We'll find out more about that tomorrow. But today we're focusing on great fortune. We want to get you to fix this in your mind. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the combined mercy of Guru and Krishna, you get the seed of the creeper of devotion, because you had the greatest fortune of crossing paths with a representative of Krishna. The representative of Krishna simply says what Krishna says. And you had the great fortune, I've had the great fortune of coming across someone who says what Krishna says. So Lord Chaitanya is giving you insight into how to stop all this constant rotation, wandering, how to put an end to it, because you've had the greatest fortune. Akrura, on his way to Vrindavan, talks about this in another way. He says sometimes a leaf or little piece of wood floating on top of the waves of the ocean is carried to the shore. Similarly, sometimes the conditioned soul, amidst all the wanderings, some or other comes in contact with a genuine representative of Krishna. You can look at the waves in the ocean as the waves of time, carrying you here and there. It can happen that by the greatest fortune, you wind up on the shore, no longer moved about here and there by the waves. So that's why we try to assist Krishna in offering contact points, offering opportunities for conditioned souls to connect to the process of bhakti, to connect with the representative of Krishna, to connect with the society of devotees. That's what we're doing here, offering contact points through the food, the prasad, through the kirtan, through the talks about Krishna. It's all through our sending devotees out onto the streets with books, through our selling sets of Bhagavatams, Chaitanya Charitamritas, prasad distribution at the various venues. It's all about providing contact points to these wanderers, these sojourners, who are so absorbed in their material activities, they've forgotten their core spiritual identity. They can be religious believers who think, I'm spiritual or I'm a soul, but they have no idea What does a spirit soul do? What are the activities of the spirit soul in perfection? So see the whole picture. Try to see what's happening on the grandest scale, not just the micro level, but the macro level in the biggest way. For doing the work, the service of providing these contact points so people can get the greatest fortune, you can become most dear to Krishna. Because as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Natachasman manusheshu kaschin me priya kritama. There's no one more dear, nor will there ever be one more dear than the one who spreads his glories to others. Krishna's glories mean the glories of devotional service. Hearing about Krishna is service. Chanting about Krishna is service. Distributing Krishna's glories to others is service. So how can the living entity receive that greatest fortune? When you want to gamble for the Powerball lottery, you go to some shop and you buy some ticket, is that it? Probably can do it online with an app these days too. So how do you get Krishna's mercy? How do you get the Guru Krishna Prasad, the mercy of the Guru and Krishna? That comes by associating with Krishna's devotees. But how will that ever happen for people if Krishna's devotees lock themselves up and never go out, never invite people to their place? We just read this verse, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. When we're supposed to be generating that great fortune as our service to the parampara, we're supposed to be providing opportunities for persons to get this greatest fortune. So it's teamwork that's going on. Lord Chaitanya here is emphasizing teamwork. Of course, the Guru gets the mercy from Krishna, just like the rain cloud. Samsara Dava Nanalita Loka. The rain cloud gets its water from the ocean. Someone may think it's just the cloud that's pouring down the rain, but the cloud has picked up the water from the ocean, and then the cloud pours it on the dry land. So in this way, the spiritual master has no mercy of his own. He gets the mercy from the ocean of mercy. That's Krishna. But for doing this work, for doing this service of taking what only Krishna can give, taking that and distributing it on the parched, suffering, conditioned souls, the devotee is glorified, even though the mercy is Krishna's. So we get a sense of the grand scale, cosmological scale that we're operating on. Out of millions of wandering living entities, one who's very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. So you have to look in your life and see, do you have the Bhakti Lata, the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of the creeper of devotion? What are you doing with it? We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But let's go back to Narada Muni's verse in the first canto. Tasyaiva heto prayate to kovido nalabhyate brahmatam uparyata nalabhyate tal brahmatari uparyata. From the highest planet to the lowest planet, we're moving all the time. Chasing after mixed happiness, which will come to us automatically just as the distress comes, according to our karma. Why waste your time? But we are so addicted to material mixed happiness. And we're proud, right? I can handle the sand in the sweet rice. By my advanced science, I'll figure out a way how to avoid most of the sand and just get the sweet rice. I'll figure out some artificial chemical that will do that. I'll put that artificial chemical in the sweet rice that'll neutralize the sand, but give me cancer in the process. This is our life as conditioned souls. How to deal with the sweet rice with sand in it. So what do you tell your friends, your associates? Oh, it's not so bad. You wish everyone to have a good day, and everyone would like to present themselves as having a good day. But the reality is sweet rice mixed with sand. So you can just visualize yourself knocking back a cup of sweet rice, the anticipation, and then crunch, crunch, crunch. You get angry. Who ruined this? Frustrated. And then you try to figure out a plan. How am I going to get the rest of the sweet rice out of this cup without the sand? This is our life. So Narada Muni says, don't bother. It's all coming to you. Kalena Gabira Ramhasa. Kalena Sarvacha Gabira Ramhasa. It's all coming to you by the strength of time. You're being engaged by the illusory energy. You're on the conveyor belt. And the conveyor belt is dragging you through your karmic allotment of distress and mixed happiness. So this is amazing that Lord Chaitanya is explaining such confidential dynamics. So succinctly, so concisely, so you can understand what's going on. This verse was always a favorite of devotees in the early days. Practically every Vyasa Puja offering sent to Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse. But I wonder how many really meditate on the depths of this verse. We would easily rattle it off. Every new devotee knew this verse. Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jeev. And as I said, every Vyasa Puja offering had that verse. But it requires some deep thought about you and what you're doing with your life. And how you may have received the greatest fortune. And then what are you doing with that greatest fortune? You can throw the greatest fortune away. Just like there are persons who've won hundreds of millions of dollars in the US dollars, in the lotteries, the state lotteries in the USA. And they come to curse the day they ever won all that money. Why? Because they can't have any real friends. They can't tell who's a friend for real and who just is after my money. They all say after we won 200 million US dollars, we had so many lost relatives turn up at our door. I'm your fourth cousin. Don't you remember me? They couldn't have good romance. They couldn't have good friendship because they're always on edge. Who's after me just for my money? They even commit suicide after winning all that money. Yet the world glorifies such situations as the greatest fortune. So here we're having our concept of wealth, our concept of success, our concept of fortune totally transformed. And in this way, we can learn by Lord Chaitanya's mercy how to treasure what is real great fortune. All right, any questions?